Okay, here we have phase 3 of our deadlift series. So phase 1, we had the PVC pipe, it was behind our backs. Taught us how to keep moving through the hip and how to maintain a safe spine that's nice and straight the way it should be. The next piece was the kettlebell, and now the third piece, we kind of put those things together. The biggest difference is that we're starting from the ground and coming up, whereas before we were starting from the top and coming down. So getting that good first position is really important. Whenever we address the bar, we're gonna go shins touching the bar. You should be able to see your shoelaces on the other side of the bar. And then we're simply going to push our hips back, and that's your hinge, right? We shut the car door. When our hands are full, we use our rear end to do that. So we come down, we grab the bar, we rotate our elbows towards the back, and then we stay nice and flat. Shoulders shouldn't be up, and the bar shouldn't be away. We're gonna pull it in nice and tight, or keep it nice and tight from when we stepped up. From there, we're gonna stand up as quickly as I can. However, oftentimes we'll see the hips rise first, and then the upper body. And really what we want is we want everything to come together. So we squeeze tight, we rotate the elbows to the back, we set our shoulders, breathe in, and then everything is just tall and tight. So shoulder, hip, knee, and ankles all stacked, and then we breathe in, brace, and so that we hold that position, we touch and go. And you'll notice I'm pulling air in as I come down or at the top, and then I'm pushing the air out as I come up. Coach, what I'm looking for, I'm looking at lines. So if I am addressing the bar and I have an athlete who is in this position, I can see that the shoulder to hip line is pretty parallel to the floor. And ideally, we would want a wedge shape. So we take this position, and we're here, and you'll notice that the hips are about halfway between the shoulders and the knees. And so you can see that wedge shape, and that shape is typically pretty good. Now, if I have somebody who has a longer lower body, which is pretty common with young athletes, then we may see their hips up a little higher, as opposed to somebody with shorter legs compared to their torso. We're gonna see their hips even a little bit lower. So there are some discrepancies from person to person, but those are the things we're looking at. Finally, I have been doing what we call a sumo deadlift, but when we do this for athletes, here's how we set that up. Feet are gonna go just wide enough so that I could still jump vertically, but I'm not lifting like a power lifter would, where my feet are way out here. So I'm here, the web of my thumb is gonna go right next to the smooth. This bar is pretty convenient for that. I have other bars that have a much wider smooth area, so I've taken some athletic tape and put it to where my hands would be basically directly underneath my shoulders. So as long as my feet are wider than my hands and knees, then I wanna make sure that I just push those knees out, and then from there, I'm deadlifting and I'm not allowing those knees to touch. The advantage to this, I think, for the athlete is that in the normal deadlift, the conventional deadlift, everything is the same, but a lot of the stress goes to the lower back. When we use a sumo deadlift, but an athletic sumo, then a lot of the stress that was here is now gonna be here. As we really drag those knees out, we feel everything in the hips, which, as we know, our field athletes and our court athletes are lateral movers, and so we're getting a little more activation there. So, squeeze tight, roll the elbows to the back, set the shoulders, breathe in deep, and then watch the knees. They stay away from the arms, touch, and go. And if you continue with that, you'll feel a lot more activity in the glutes and a lot less in the lower back.